Hi, this is Matt with Sherlock Home Inspections. Phone number is 971-212-7481. Website address is yourinspectionneeds.com. Today's date is Monday, March 13th, 2023. The address we're inspecting today is 2865 Northwest Gregory Drive, McMinnville, Oregon, 97128. We are about to perform a video inspection of the property's main sewer line through the front yard exterior clean out. The equipment being used today is the Rigid Sea Snake. This is one of the best sewer cameras on the market today. Before we begin this video inspection, it has been noted that some sewer pipes made of clay, concrete, cast iron, asbestos, Warrensburg may be in good working order and may never have had a clogged or sewer backup before. However, due to real estate transactions, attorneys, and lawsuits, Sherlock Home Inspections must recommend the following to meet the current codes. All sewer pipes should be watertight, made of cast iron ABS 3034 or HDPE pipe with all appropriate fittings and couplers. All sewer pipes should be free from breaks, offsets, separations, tree roots, bellies, and party sewers. Sherlock Home Inspections recommends replacing any sewer pipe that does not meet these specifications. Here we go. We are in 4-inch PVC piping. We are running some water from the half bathroom sink to ensure that our pipe is watertight and is going to remain watertight throughout this inspection. We are in 4-inch PVC pipe. This is in the front yard, and it does look like the direction of the sewer pipe is going to run just pretty much straight as an arrow to the street in front of the house. All of the joints, junctions in the pipe, at least that we've seen so far, appear to be glued and watertight. After about 20 feet, we're going to dive straight down into the ground. It's not uncommon as you reach the bottom of this dive to have a little bit of standing water. It seems like for whatever it's worth, it is a little bit tricky for the drain technicians to keep a strong pitch in the pipe as they're pulling out of a straight down dive. So there we are pulling out of it there. It looks like they did pretty good, but we're going to want to look at this area again once we reach the lateral, the end of the line here. We're going to turn off the water and look at the pipe again. There is a little bit of standing water right at the bottom of this dive. Like I said, that's a common area where it seems like you're heading straight down. Instead of gradually coming out of the dive, there's this tendency to go flat and then get back to downhill pitch. But in that process, or in that movement, you get this as the camera head goes underwater. So a little bit of marginal pitch or flat piping right for just, I mean, it's very, very minor and very, very quick. The camera head comes out of it, but there is a little bit of that. Like I said, it's probably one of the more common things that we'll see. So coming out of the straight down dive, there's a little bit of water. Like I said, the camera head goes underwater there, and so at, let's say 22 feet, we go underwater, and then we're out of it in like 4 inches. So it's about 4 inches of standing water, but nonetheless, brand new home. Just kind of a rough transition, some marginal pitch. Really, it wasn't transitioned out of the dive very well. It's like we went flat here, and then when you get through to the transition to 30-34, and then of course they get back to the downhill pitch. So yeah, a little bit of a rough connection there. So we come down, here's the very bottom of the dive, and boom, we go underwater. And then we transition. So at about 24 feet, that signifies a few things. That signified transitioning pipe size, so we just went from 4-inch pipe into a 5-inch pipe. Signifies transitioning pipe materials. We went from PVC into 30-34, which is a hybrid PVC. And then lastly, we're transitioning into a branch off the city lateral piping. And even though we enter into city lateral piping here, technically all of this would be buyer owner responsibility throughout the entire length, start to finish. And this is going to be the end of the line here. is, we'll call it, 57 feet to the city lateral. This is the large lateral pipe running through the middle of the road out there. This is the pipe that the homes in the neighborhood, or at least the homes on the street, are tying into. And this would be the end officially of buyer-owner responsibility. So we started in PVC pipe, we transitioned to 30-34, and we dropped into the city lateral at around 57 feet. For the most part, everything was going downhill pretty well. It's just that common area that we'll see quite a bit. So I'd recommend, before closing, passing the video and the report onto the builder or a drain repair specialist to take a peek at that and see if any repairs are deemed necessary currently. It's a common area, but it's just unfortunate that they didn't transition out of that dive very well. So like I said, it's one of the more common things that we see, where you're going straight down a dive heading for the sidewalk, and then rather than gradually pull out of it, you know, with small slight angles, it goes straight down and flat, and you get kind of this right angle, and you end up with some standing water. So not very much, you know, 3, 4, 5 inches of standing water, but again, brand new construction house. Alright, so I'd recommend passing the video and the report on to the builder. So what we've done here is we've turned off the water. We're going to wait a couple of minutes for it to drain out, and we want to look at that area again. We want to run a test on that area, see if it changes. You know, it's a drain pipe, so it should drain. You turn off the water, everything drains out of there, but we'll see. So we're going to run a test on that. So I'm going to wait a couple of more minutes for the remainder of the water to make its way through the sewer pipe, and then we'll look at the area again. So this should be that dive area. Reach the bottom here. It did look like things improved. There's still some. So it looks like even with the water off, there's still going to be a couple inches. It's just water standing in there. So again, before closing, I'd recommend taking the video and the report, pass it on to the builder.